Good afternoon and welcome to Conversations at One. This is a great day and we hope that you are having a good lunch or had good lunch. You can let us know what you had for lunch. My name is Seidlitz Nkhonjera. I'll be with you on Conversations at One and I'll be introducing our analyst in just a minute. Now, democracy is the very core that thrives on clarity, fairness, and predictability. But when a citizen steps into a polling booth, the ballot paper in front of them must be an instrument of clear democratic choice, not a puzzle of confusion. But what happens when the very referee tasked with maintaining the clarity creates a storm of uncertainty in the middle of an election cycle? Right now, a high stakes, standoff is brewing at the election house. The Electoral Commission of Zambia has ordered several independent and, mayoral candidates to surrender the candle symbol they were officially allocated during nominations. The ECZ's reasoning is what we are trying to question this particular afternoon. Why have they come up with this decision? Of course, this information has been verified by one of the affected independent candidates whom we spoke to last night, to just confirm and shared with us the letter by the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Several people have taken to social media and various other media to give their opinion on this particular issue. For the candidates, the damage is already, done. Thousands of kwaches have been spent mobilizing and, sharing posters, informing, their people. The printed, billboards, the branded vehicles, the branded communities, and mobilized all under the banner of Candle. Now they are being asked to erase their political identity and start from scratch. This has been said, or according to the letters received, this is because there's a political party that carries a symbol similar to the candle. And so this may cause confusion during elections. Joining me in studio is Mr. George Chomba to help us navigate through this conversation this afternoon. Mr. Chomba, good afternoon. Welcome to yet another week of Conversations at One.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure coming back to discuss elections. We are just about 2 months away from the polling day. So it's very important that people understand what happens in the electoral process. Yeah.
All right. Now, let's dive right into the heart of this friction. One of the loudest voices pushing back at the Electoral Commission of Zambia is Simon Mulenga, an independent candidate that I spoke to last night because he was amongst those that commented the first on this particular issue. So he this morning has delivered formal notice of objection to the Electoral Commission of Zambia. He has given the commission a strict 24-hour ultimatum to reverse its decision or face legal action. Mwila argues that the candle symbol was officially, provided by the ECZ during nominations on May 22nd. Director will be able to put up the list of symbols that were availed to, candidates on that particular day. He has already, rolled out massive campaign branding. But Mr. Chomba, from an administrative standpoint, how does the ECZ find itself in a position where it approves a symbol during nominations, only to try and retrieve it weeks later when campaigns are in full swing? These are the symbols that were, provided for independent candidates to choose, and quite a number opted to choose the candle. Of course, the others have chosen the bed, others have chosen different other symbols there. But the Electoral Commission says the candle is similar to a registered political party's symbol that is also taking part in this election. And it has to be changed according to that information that has been, shared by Simon Wheeler.
First of all, I want this to be very clear. I'm not an official from the Electoral Commission of Zambia,
Yep.
but I'm a trainer of trainers of election reporting. That means I would touch on this issue based on the experience. And all those who have read, that is the Electoral Process Act, should understand that the Electoral Commission of Zambia is in charge of elections, and they would remove any encumbrances in the process. If, in their view, they believe that a certain symbol will cause confusion in terms of this political party, this candidate, and all the other processes, what is supposed to happen is that they should quickly remove those encumbrances. Now, I would give you, there is a period which is within 7 days in which petitions are going to be conducted. So you can't just be told by the nomination center that you have qualified and you start printing according to the statement that you have given. You start printing because somebody else may challenge your nomination and they would say you are not qualified to be nominated as a member of parliament. While I understand it can be some inconvenience, but you need to wait for those 7 days. You need to wait maybe 21 days. This is my view in terms of the waiting period. You wait for all these petitions to be over so that you can actually start printing millions of material for you to actually embark on a campaign journey. Yeah.
Does this, raise questions, especially that the commission is making these changes retroactively? They are going back. Does this question the vetting process? Because, of course, they need to have done, clear vetting of symbols and colors and everything else. But then it appears to have been an oversight that, the two symbols may mean or may be similar in nature.
First of all, the candidates and political parties who have got similar campaign material should be happy that this has been spotted much earlier. Because what would happen is if you just let something goes like the way people are insisting in terms of let's go in the campaign mode, let's use the campaign material that we are having, assuming that you are an independent candidate and your votes go to a political party, or assuming that you are a political party, your campaign material, or maybe people would like to vote for you, go to an independent candidate. These bring petitions later on, that is after the election. So I believe the candidates and political parties should look at this as a corrective measure, which would not deny them the ballot, the ballot that they need in terms of elections. So it's good for the candidates and it's good for political parties.
One of the affected individuals here states that, and he states it very clearly, that this is not about the symbol. It's about fairness, it's about certainty, and ensuring that candidates, are not prejudiced by administrative political decisions made after nominations have, closed. Now, if this lands in the courts, does candidates that, are not satisfied with the position that the commission allegedly has taken, have a strong leg to stand on regarding legitimate, expectations. This is the letter that has been attributed to the Electoral Commission of Zambia, and this letter is dated the 6th of June. And this was written to town councils or secretaries, city, municipal, or and town councils of the Republic of Zambia. So it says clarification and standardization of candidate symbols for the 2026 general election. I would love to mention this letter has been gotten from a candidate that has stake in this election, Simon Mwila. So he says the commission is in process of reviewing nomination papers and supporting documents received from districts. During this process, it has been noted that one of the symbols provided in the register of symbols for independent candidates, namely the candle symbol, bears similarity to a symbol currently registered in respect of a political party. The Commission remains fully committed to ensuring a transparent, fair, and orderly electoral process in line with the Electoral Process General Regulations 2016. As you're aware, the regulatory framework strictly requires that symbols allocated to political parties and independent candidates be entirely distinct in order to eliminate any potential voter confusion on the ballot paper. To uphold the clarity of the ballot and protect the distinct identity of every candidate, the Commission is undergoing a standardization exercise in all affected areas. We are therefore required to take the following immediate actions. Number 1, candidate engagement. Immediately contact any independent candidate within your jurisdiction who has been assigned a candle symbol. Number 2, alternative selection. That is the second part of this conversation that we are getting to. All right, Mr. Chomba, I'm sure you've seen so far how the conversation is, flowing with regards this letter that has been attributed to the Electoral Commission of Zambia, and like I mentioned earlier, this letter has been shared by one of the affected, independent members, independent candidates in this particular election. And now it goes on to say, formally advise the affected independent candidates to select an alternative symbol from the approved register of symbols. The selected symbol must not resemble any symbol already assigned to a political party or any symbol chosen by another candidate within the district, constituency, or ward. The deadline, now all replacement symbol choices must be formally processed and submitted to the headquarters no later than Wednesday, the 10th of June, 2026. Default allocation. Clearly inform the affected independent candidates that if an alternative symbol is not submitted by the stated deadline, the Commission shall exercise its legal mandate to allocate a distinct symbol to facilitate the candidates' inclusion on the ballot paper without delay. This is in accordance with Regulation 8.6 of the Electoral Process General Register, General Regulations, which empowers the Chief Electoral Officer to allocate and register a symbol for use in an election. This measure is an important safeguard intended to protect the interests of candidates, to ensure that voters can easily and accurately identify their preferred candidates on polling day. Please handle this engagement with the utmost professionalism, courtesy, and diplomacy. Your cooperation and timely action in this matter are highly appreciated and will contribute significantly to maintaining integrity and credibility of the electoral process. The further information, clarify, please, or clarification, please contact the acting manager elections, Mr. Matao Sikota, on the mobile numbers provided. Mr. Chomba, this is what the Electoral Commission of Zambia has guided, and like you were saying, they do have that in their rule book, that provision to spot confusion and provide remedy to the confusion before that confusion takes place.
I attended a meeting just last Friday, and it was a very important meeting in terms of for political parties, because we are discussing the Electoral Process Act that is at Mulungoshi here in Lusaka. And most of the political parties did not attend. For me, it was very unfortunate because a meeting of the Electoral Process Act is very important for political parties to understand the powers of the Electoral Commission, which they don't give unto themselves. Actually, what happens is that when political parties are debating the Electoral Process Act, the new changes and all those things, they are the ones who give the powers to the Electoral Commission. So the Electoral Commission is empowered to actually regulate or maybe guide political parties on the good conduct in terms of as they go for elections. And a party symbol is just one of those minor things which they are able to do. So one of the regulation, which is Gen 6, which political parties sign in terms of abiding by or to be compliant with the Electoral Process Act, is if they went beyond the signing of those documents and they read the Electoral Process Act, they would know that these regulations of trying to distinguish that is a political party and also an independent candidate or any candidate, because when you are looking at it from a point of the electoral candidates, that is, you can have at mayoral level, you can have an independent candidate. Mm-hmm. And also you can have a member of a political party. So from the writings, or maybe the Electoral Commission of Zambia must have been reacting to something. And when I say something, is assuming a political party complained about their symbol being confused with an independent candidate. They have the right to act.
What would happen if two symbols that are similar in this context are used in an election? What would there be, say, if at the end of that election would a political party or an independent candidate be,
there would be a legal battle, because one may say that symbol is similar to mine. I lost because of
my voters voted for another person.
They voted. And what will happen is that you can line up witnesses and say, this one wanted to vote for me, but that political party had my symbol. And it would put in bad light the Electoral Commission of Zambia, because you are able to argue that why didn't you spot these things before? That's why we have got timelines in terms of petitions. What would happen is that you are validly nominated, somebody can challenge you, and when you are challenged, there is that 21 days within which the courts are expected to rule on a dispute. So those who feel aggrieved by the Electoral Commission of Zambia decision to actually change the symbols have the right. They can go to court, and the court are going to rule. But I believe that since there is no court process at this particular moment, we can discuss it from a point of can you make the electoral process or the election as clean as possible before we actually go and have those disputes.
Candidates, Mr. Chomba, have up to Wednesday to make these decisions. We did share a post showing the different types of symbols that are available.
Yes.
And if candidates do not pick from this list by Wednesday, the commission is going to be made to, choose on their behalf. Now, it's not just independent candidates who are aggrieved by this particular decision. Political parties are also weighing in. One of the parties is the National Reconciliation Party,
Yes.
for Unity and Prosperity, which through its youth wing, the National Youth Chairperson Kelvin Kaunda has come out strongly. He describes this action as highly irregular and an administrative intimidation. Now, he's questioned who is going to pay for the changes, the branding that these candidates have already invested in heavily. That is the major question, that he brings up.
I don't know whether the political parties read the Electoral Process Act and they read the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia. You can't just immediately you are told, oh, you have qualified, and then you start printing, oh, these, you spend millions, assuming, and this is what I would want political parties and candidates to answer. Assuming in the 7 days that is given in the Constitution, not drafted by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, but written by Zambians themselves and agreed by the National Assembly, they tell you, for example, I'll go to Dolly Kabanda's case. I don't know what the ruling will be, but we all know within 7 days you can challenge the candidature of a political party. There is another case involving the President of the Republic of Zambia by Mr. Charles Longwe. So I don't know if that case is about the 7 days or maybe it's a party matter. How do you start spending so much money even before you know that the 7 days has elapsed and you are confirmed by the courts of law? The only thing that I can appeal to politicians and candidates who are in this race is to exercise a little bit of patience and discuss with the Electoral Commission of Zambia the alternative or the better way to deal with whatever is happening. Otherwise, what will happen is you may spend a lot of money trying to go to court, trying to sue, and then all of a sudden you lose the matter. Yes, those are the things that can be discussed in terms of I've spent so much money.
So that's Simon Wheeler. And,
yes.
This morning he walked to the elections house to lodge in his questions or petition to the Electoral Commission, saying that if they do not reverse that decision, he's going to court within 24 hours. So they need to respond to him within these very 24 hours. We're going to keep a close eye on how this matter develops, and then we'll obviously keep our viewers engaged in conversation on this issue. But Mr. Chomba, you keep on talking about how politicians ought to understand the rules of engagement,
Yes.
and that they should be making themselves available at numerous points. There is also part of Mr. Kaunda's appeal was that if the Electoral Commission of Zambia is going to make any changes such as these ones, the best would have been through a judicial process. They need to have,
no. That letter was written on the 6th
yes.
Of June. which means it could have been within the time frame under which they can resolve some of these minor issues. But if they are candidates, and this is why I'm emphasizing that political parties and candidates should read the Electoral Process Act, is to understand the powers of the Electoral Commission. For example, is it right for an independent candidate to use symbols of the UPND or symbols of any RP? Is it correct for any candidate to use symbols for any other political party? So these are the things that people should understand, and for lack of a better term, you draw up a meeting with the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Don't just go at the gate and say, I've dropped the letter. You should understand the period under which the Electoral Commission of Zambia can resolve some of these minor differences. And what would happen is maybe just dropping a letter and you screenshot whatever you are doing can be resolved in a minute. So you walk into the offices of the people who are responsible rather than playing to the gallery of social media. So I hope and I believe that as people who are going to be speaking to journalists, now there are so many journalists who are coming on board. That is, you can write whatever you want to write. But the most important thing is to actually understand the law pertaining to elections.
There are, conversations around elections, and I think one thing that we all have to understand, and candidates also have to be aware, is that electoral integrity does not only happen on voting day. It is a process from now to voting day, and any of these anomalies that need clearing up, need to be addressed in the shortest possible time. But Mr. Chomba, when you look at what is going on with the commission, especially that this was conversation between the commission and the councils responsible, when these councils were the ones that were issuing these or rather accepting nominations on behalf of the commission, especially that at presidential level, no independent has opted to go for the candle option. So when we look at this particular situation, that the conversation is internal, is it why the Electoral Commission of Zambia is yet to give a response? Because this has raised so much public debate on what is going on, and this was as of afternoon yesterday all the way through this particular morning.
That is Simon Mulenga.
All right, so this was him when he dropped off the letter. He says, this morning I formally delivered my notice of objection to the Electoral Commission of Zambia at Elections House regarding the proposed withdrawal of the candle symbol that was duly allocated to me when I successfully filed my nomination as independent candidate for the mayor of Lusaka on the 22nd of May 2026. In my letter, I have made it clear that I object to any attempt to change the symbol at this stage after campaigns have already commenced and significant resources have been invested in voter education, branding, posters, flyers, social media content, and public engagements centered around the candle symbol. I have given the Commission 24 hours to provide written confirmation that the candle symbol allocated to my candidature will remain unchanged, failing which I shall proceed to seek legal redress before the courts to protect my rights, the integrity of the electoral process, and the legitimate expectations of the voters who have already identified my campaign with the symbol. This is not just about a symbol, it's about fairness, certainty, and ensuring that candidates are not prejudiced by administrative political decisions made after nominations have closed. All right, so that is just a statement to make certain of what Mr. Mwila is alleging there.
My comment on this one, I hope we didn't just end up at the gate. he should have gone straight to the office which deals with elections, instead of you end up at the gate and you just simply go on social media and say, I've delivered the letter. The timeline, and if you read the Electoral Process Act and the timelines in terms of how to deal with some of these problems, it's stipulated. I wouldn't speak on behalf of the Electoral Commission of Zambia, but what I can tell you is if it's a minor problem, you have at least 48 hours. And you have all these timelines in terms of resolving the issue. But like I have said, I can't speak on behalf of the Electoral Commission of Zambia. The Electoral Commission of Zambia have their mandate in terms of speaking on their behalf. But the only thing that I can tell you is if you read the Electoral Process Act, it gives you time to start understanding that sometimes it's not even the officials at the Electoral Commission of Zambia, but the council. There is supposed to be a district conflict management committee. There is supposed to be provincial management committees before you escalate the issue. So that letter that Mr. Mulenga, with due respect, Mr. Mwila is basing his complaint over, should have been addressed in terms of the town clerk, who is in charge of elections in a province, in a district, so that you discuss with all those officials, so that quickly and quick enough, some of these problems can be resolved.
All right, we now quickly get to the newspaper section. We would love to see what stories have been carried as of today in our newspapers, and then on the other side we're going to be opening the phone lines as we read some messages as well on the show. All right, so the Times of Zambia says, work hard, dream big. HH implores youths to be loyal, respectful, and seek God. President bail held for according Mpezeni state funeral. Government tightens Ebola preventive measures. Those are the main stories. ZCMT receives fabric orders worth $2 billion. All right, that's the interesting. That's the Zambia China Mlungushi Textiles that has received, fabric orders worth $2 billion United States dollars. Let's have a look at another, newspaper this afternoon. The Dews Diggers milling prices or milling meal price drops. Sunshine Milling cuts 40 kwacha, citing kwacha gain. Campaigns slow, candidates are broke, says Munduvile. ECZ refutes claims suggesting Zalomi's arrest. There was a video, an AI-generated video that was depicting the Electoral Commission of Zambia chairperson being arrested. So that apparently is fake news. Transfer of Chawama top cop not linked to violence incident. Police has clarified. This was in response to concerns raised that there were transfers made because of some actions that some police officers may have taken. Let's have a look at another newspaper this afternoon. The Mast newspaper says HH deserves second term. Free education and pension reforms must be fully actualized through continuity in government. This says Dr. Mumba. All right. Police stop tear gas Nkombo campaign launch. Let nothing divide Zambia, says Zingo. UPND cadres will answer for violence, warns Msoni. Act now for El Nino, expert urges farmers. All right, let's have a look at another newspaper. The Daily Nation is saying, HH A strong advocate of free press, says State House. Whitney Mulowela, the State House chief communications strategist, says President Hichilema understands that the foundation of democracy depends on unhindered access to information by citizens. We shall not seek revenge, says Mundubile. Garing Combo, tear gassed, is another headline there. You can find that story on page 3 of the Daily Nation. Let's have a look at more newspaper headlines. The Daily Nation, I declared 58 million kwacha assets to the Electoral Commission of Zambia, says Harry Kalaba. I challenge HH and others to follow suit. We need to restore integrity to public office. That is Harry Kalaba. All right, let's have a look at another newspaper. The Daily Mail, Membe skips Mpezeni burial, says, to avoid spiritual contamination. 35,000 council staff bank on new law. Verify before sharing. The Electoral Commission of Zambia comments on the video, of course, that has gone viral. Dismiss petition challenging HH candidature. UPND urges court. All right, that's the Zambia Daily Mail. Those are the headlines in the newspapers. Mr. Chomba, what do you make of the newspapers this day today?
I think if you look at the newspapers, we are in a campaign mode, even if many people are saying we are the campaigns are slow. You look at the daily, that is the must, talking about HH deserves second term. That is Dr. Mumba. I don't think anybody would expect any different if Dr. Mumba, because they are in their alliance with UPND. And people who have seen their new political party from MMD into New Vision Party, yeah, they are on the same path in terms of campaigning for the UPND. But what I would say is politicians should go beyond talking about vote for this one, for the second term and all those things, and go into issues. That is, you want people to understand why would you want HH to come back. Those are reasons in politics that would make people understand. But for a newspaper, it's a good headline. When you are talking about the burial of Mpezeni, yes, we call each other tribal cousins. The burial is tomorrow for people who would like to understand. And let's give him a befitting burial. But we should also teach people the tradition of burying chiefs. Is it after 7 days? Is it after 1 year? All these stories we used to hear our parents talking about it in terms of being embalmed, and then after 1 year, that's when you bury a certain chief. If we are going to lose our tradition in terms of 7 days and all those things, and without teaching the young ones who are coming in terms of explanation, then we'll be missing some of the things that we are talking about.
All right, you're watching Conversations at 1 on Crown Television. We now opened the phone line for you to be able to engage and give us what your take is on the topic and various other topics that have been carried by newspapers as of today. The number to call is right on your screen. You can go ahead and give us your contributions this afternoon. Remember, as Mr. Chomba has mentioned, there is National Mourning tomorrow in honor of the late Paramount Chief Mpezeni, who's going to be buried tomorrow. Hello, Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, thank you, sir. What is your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm Mr. Kayombo, calling from Nkuru.
Mr. Kayombo, thank you. Please go ahead.
I'm Mr. Kayombo from Nkuru.
All right, thank you. Please go ahead, Mr. Kayombo.
Yes, I just want to say that Mr. Chomba has been referring every day. I just want to say Mr. Chomba has been referring every day, advising politicians to be reading the Electoral Act or laws, but they don't read.
All right.
So we wonder whether these people are really politicians or they just want to get the two offices and enjoy money. We don't know. Because the change of symbol which is there, this person is just being advised. If it says too late, you come, we put a new one here. Make this one is resembling something else, but is there making noise as if it is don't want him to contest. It's very unfair to this question that we have.
All right.
Then I want Mr. Chomba help us. As who are under the old pension, the PSPF. There's no one who has been called so far to discuss our benefits. Let's talk about NAPSA. NAPSA, young guys who started working after 2001. What about us old ones who are retiring within a few years? What is there for us?
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Kayombo, for that question. All right. Hello. Good afternoon, Mr. Nkhonjera.
Good afternoon, my brother and my uncle there. How are you?
I'm all right.
Fine, thank you.
Thank you. People have been lamenting about the sour relationship between Mr. Nkhonjera and the UPND now. I think it's the fact that now is being flagged by Mundubile people. Could you confirm the sour relations or the collaboration we used to hear about between Nkhonjera and the PF government and the President Lungu in particular?
How do you
because
mean?
At one time people really called for the replacement of President Hakainde Hichilema by Nkhonjera. During that time, this is prior to 2021 election by PF people. So it's a pity, but it's not the UPN that has thrown away Nkhonjera, it's himself.
Mr.
And the
Nkhonjera,
people shouldn't wonder.
Mr.
What I'm saying?
Nkhonjera, how do you mean when you say he's being flanked by the people you have mentioned?
Because I hear when those people were being dispersed, they were saying they were going to vote for Nkhonjera and Mundubile.
All right.
So do you think you can say that? It means those are Mundubile people. And it's a pity. Okay? I wonder even Lucifer at one time was part of heaven and God's cabinet. But later, when he was thrown out, what is he doing today? Has become an enemy of heaven and the people of God. So even Nkhonjera, he should be careful. We hoped that he could be a next after President Hakainde Hichilema. But what he has done now has made me, I'm one of the people who used to refuse. When people told me, no, Nkhonjera is not good. This is what, I used to refuse that, no, Nkhonjera cannot do that. But now, I've now believed that it's like, I'm ashamed, in fact, before the people whom I used to oppose, when they aligned Nkhonjera to President Lungu and the PF activities. Now, it shouldn't be such a danger because he never know. The people Mazabuka may not vote for him, and how is he going to look at himself? He will be another like David Matongo, who was once of Chikankata, and Haji Amudu, who has now come back. So let's hope he won't destroy where he comes from. Possibility of coming back is there. Then I want to thank the president for having assented to the free education policy. My friend, myself, I remember my brother in 2001 when he failed to sit for grade 9 exam at Mangango Secondary School due to unpaid school fees. The head then threatened that no, those who have not paid school fees will not sit for exam. He failed. He could not write. But today, every child now has that chance to be in school without being frustrated. As a teacher, I've observed children being chased away by school authorities to bring money, to tell their parents to bring money. Those disturbances are no more. But we should guard for this. You remember at one time, Mundubile and his colleagues said, any law, any bill that was passed with the help of UPF members is going to be scrapped off. That's what they said. That includes free education, TRP, proportional representation, and many other progress laws, including NAPSA changes, pensions, all those. Should we risk to going back to that? Let us protect this government, protect this president who really has proved that he means well for us by not allowing these people would not mean well to form government again and take us back again to a huge debt with their inexperience and the lack of know-how on how to govern the state. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that contribution. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, thank you. What is your name and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, speaking to Pastor Chava. Good afternoon once again.
We're very fine, thank you. Pastor, please go ahead.
Yeah, I've got two issues to raise here.
All right.
The first one is about the ECZ, cancelling or whatever about the candle. For me, probably, I think my brother there on the panel may assist us. Why not call, upon the ECZ to call the two sides that are fighting, or probably that have got the same symbol, sit them down, then hear their views on how they are going to resolve, or probably put it in writing that if, for example, a dispute arises, they will not, sue each other. Maybe that way, just call the two people, the party and probably the person who is also contesting now.
So,
the other one,
Ms. Pastor,
yes.
So the independent candidates that have chosen the candle symbol are many
Yes.
across the country. It is not just one.
Also, there are many that are, using the candle.
Yes.
It's not the only one.
Yes, no, it's not just one person, but there are many candidates at mayoral level, at councillor level, as well as at parliamentary level.
Oh my God!
So the instruction from the commission was to the nomination centers that these candidates are coming from, to write to these candidates and to have those conversations like you're saying they must have to inform them why they need to change.
I hear you, and this is arising from the fact that we have a lot of independence now.
Yes.
The second one is about the contamination of the spirit. I don't know which spirit will be contaminated, but we have heard about this, that chiefs do not, attend. But now, I don't know. Is it the Holy Spirit or which spirit? Hello?
Yes, we're getting it.
Yeah. I'm just wondering as to which, because these bodies are even entering churches these days. I'm sure my brother here on the panel is a Christian, and if these bodies are entering churches, how come they are not defiling or rather contaminating the Holy Spirit? And again, I saw I started to be corrected. I think Mr. Mende went to South Africa to attended the funeral of the late when it was decided that he would be buried in South Africa. Now he's saying he cannot go to Eastern Province, his spirit or the spirit will be contaminated. Did he, realize that going to South Africa to attend that funeral of the late President Israel was going to contaminate his spirit? I just want the panelists just to help us understand this. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Pastor, for that contribution. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Alec.
Yes.
Tachomabwino kuli bwanji kuchipata
kujabe bwino marigaza bekatikike nayo.
pepani.
Ile ni problema raisize. Chukwa pamene paja abantu pamene uzobalundirisa. Olofanika kuwapasira tu machani masimu. Songa tu masimu anapasa semu. Baleke ni wachipe kujena kana. Ziko mufika mpakizi.
Okay, Mr. Alex, all right, you're watching Conversations at 1. We're grateful to you that has managed to call in and give your opinion on this particular story. But you too can call in and give us that opinion. Hello.
Good afternoon, Conversation at 1. Good afternoon, Mr. Nkhonjera and Mr. Chomba.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm calling you from Chomba. This is Solomon.
Thank you very much, Solomon. Please go ahead.
The ECZ to make decisions on the symbols, they are justified. It's just like when you go to football. If the referee of the match official sees something wrong on the jerseys of the players, they will say, go and change and put on this thing. So they are right to make those changes. They've seen that it was competing with another political party, and those are independents. They affected the symbols of other independents. because the independents, they don't belong to anyone. So this shows that independent candidates are not loyal to anybody. So that's their target. On the signing of the NAPSA changes, the law that has changed. Actually, this one is will help civil servants who are highly indebted. They can go to NAPSA, or maybe they can instruct NAPSA to buy their debt, instead of waiting for government to do what to forgo their debt. That is their money. Let them use NAPSA and they go and they finance their debt, which they owe these other institutions. They have money. So this thing actually must give thanks to President and this government for coming to their aid. This is what we call real debt swap. Let them go and get money, they withdraw 30% and pay their debt. Then they live normally. I submit. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
All right. Thank you very much for that contribution. We'll pick one more call and then we wind up with conversations this afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Nkhonjera.
Hello, sir. How are you?
How are you and Mr. Chomba there?
We are very fine. Thank you. How are you?
Very, very fine. My contribution.
All right. Then the name first and then your contribution.
Oh, I'm James Ngosa, calling you from Serenje.
Thank you, Mr. Ngosa. Please go ahead.
The first one is on Gary Combo. We saw yesterday on those videos where he was being tear gassed. Mr. Chomba cannot talk about that because he knows people ask. Those are the things Mr. Chomba should be talking about. They are not part of the electoral process. The laws are very clear that the ECZ should ban all parties that are contravening the laws. That is why the Bill 7 was there. And that law which they changed recently.
What is not part of the process, Mr. Ngosa?
I'm saying what is part of the process is allowing people to assemble. That is what is the constitution. Now, not to go there and say, no, you cannot assemble. He decides to go back home. The police follow him with the tear gas. What is that?
All right.
What is that? We should be calling a spade a spade. When the other people have made the mistakes, let's also condemn them. Let's not keep quiet because maybe we are afraid of people who are watching. Secondly, you heard the one caller saying, no, that means Nkombo is working with Munduvile. What is wrong with that? Even Mayo Sampao's PF has endorsed the current president. So what is wrong with those two working together? Those are the people who have stayed in the past. They are still living in the past where they think whoever supports this other party is an enemy of others. No, let's not live like that. We are in a democracy and everyone is free to support whoever they want. We should not be looking at where, or which region, or what. No. They are the people who have brought this so-called tribalism to be entrenched. Thirdly, on the ECZ, ECZ is also not very sincere in the way they operate. There are so many letters that they have written within a short period of time. Trying to change this, they try to change that, they try to change this. Honestly, what is that? It's confusing the electorate. When those people were receiving nominations, the ECZ, we thought maybe they were working together in those centers to see how come now, because that symbol is mainly for independence and what. Then you want to say, no, they should change. If they don't change, ECZ, those are the laws that we say, let's not make laws that will again come and haunt us in future. No, let's make laws that are very, very straight and they will help the whole country, not to help few individuals. No. Let's not allow this anarchy because the way things are now, Mr. Nkhonjera, imagine what will happen a day or 3 days before elections, or a day people will be counting. There will be massacre if we don't correct some of these things now. Because even the police now are conspiracies. We cannot allow police to be police for one group. No, police should be for everyone. Where they see something is wrong, they quickly act without looking at the face, without looking at who is involved. But what we are seeing is we saw fights in Sesheke, we saw fights in people were massacred in Lukuru, and no report, no arrests, no what. So we also, let me also say something. This is what happened during the gassing. And that's because no one has been arrested for gassing. Then we also suspect to say the people who are gassing are still around and we have failed to arrest them. Meanwhile, we are talking on a mountain. No, gassers, PF were gassing people, but we have failed to arrest those gassers. Why? Because the gassers could be within ourselves.
Mr. Ngosa,
So,
our time is up, but I'll have just two questions before
go
you
ahead,
go. First of all, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, if indeed it has directed independent members of parliament, aspiring members of parliament and other candidates at different other levels to change the symbol owing to the fact that one of the symbols that a political party is carrying may be similar. Don't you think that they are trying to preserve the interests of the independent candidates, but also the political party concerned? Because if in case that political party receives fewer votes in a certain area and the candidate carrying a symbol similar to theirs carries more votes, they can petition the commission and say the people are confused. Don't you think that would be the reason? That would be the case?
Mr. Nkhonjera, that is, those are assumptions we are making. If honestly we allow people to campaign freely, this is the reason why campaign period should be 90 days. Now I doubt whether they're still 90. The constitution is very clear. This is one way of impeding on those who are standing on the opposite side. If me as a candidate have a symbol, I'll tell my electorate to vote for that symbol of mine. Because let me give a practical example. If like in Combo is holding a candle, a white candle in Mazabuka Central, then there's another one in Kasama Central who has the same symbol. There's a parliamentary candidate. The people in Kasama will vote for that one. The people in Mazabuka will vote for Combo. So the fact that that light which is there is similar. It is because we are restricting people from exercising their electoral freedom. If we allow people to do their campaign without any hindrance, I doubt whether that will be a problem, unless somebody just wants to create something else, because people who vote are counted by that polling station. And there is no way that somebody will come and say this symbol confused my electorate. It's not true. That is just an assumption. But the reason behind, in my view, is to now put the independents who are on that candle in a panic mode, so that they now start looking for another symbol. That is what is there. Honestly, we can't say you can confuse the voters. Allow the candidates to sell their manifesto to the voters. This is why where you see somebody wants to go and campaign, police come. They disperse the people. Where they see people want to mobilize, the police will come. We saw how this the MP for Chawama, his properties in Chawama were ransacked by those cadres. That is the reason why people are afraid of campaigning, because they know just when they want to campaign, another group of people who do not agree with the freedoms of association will come together with the police. So that is exactly what is happening. Honestly, that issue is a non-starter. Let's just be honest with ourselves. This is not the first election we are doing. We have done it from 1991. I was a voter up to today. These things were not there. Where are they coming from, Mr. Nkhonjera?
Well, all right. I would have a number of more questions with you, but our time is up.
You can ask me the last one. It's fine.
No, the time is up. The time is up, Mr. Ngosa. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Mr. Chomba, it's been a great conversation to have with you and also with many of our callers, those that have managed to call in. To you that has not managed to call in, managed to get through, we hope that we have more time later on in the evening tonight on Spotlight. We can continue on that conversation. But Mr. Ngosa raises a number of concerns, and he doesn't see the genuineness in this particular decision. I was going to ask him a question on the Nkombo situation, to say the day before the launch was going to take place, the Zambia police had issued a statement advising all political parties and all independent candidates to hold off on campaigns because they had information that there was going to be some disruptions on that particular Sunday. And unfortunately, incidences, or rather that scene that followed on Sunday, happened. The main reason the police gave was that Mr. Nkombo was not scheduled to be in that area on that day according to the campaign timetable. But Mr. Nkombo had an argument and said, yes, I was not scheduled to be here, but I and another candidate that was scheduled to be here had written or had agreed that we were going to share this particular, space. And so because we are not competing at that level, this is what we had agreed. Unfortunately, the police and Mr. Nkombo could not reach a compromise that led to, those tear gas that we saw yesterday.
I've been involved, just like one of the callers said,
Sure.
He has been involved in elections. I've been involved in elections since 1991.
Mm.
A month before Dr. Kenneth Kaunda actually left State House.
Mm.
I had the last lunch with him. Now, what I'm trying to say is I've followed the electoral process.
Right.
This is the maybe what we can well-managed elections, because after nominations, what would happen is the Electoral Commission of Zambia would sit. Now, I'm not talking about people at the elections office.
Mm.
I'm talking about maybe Mazabuka. They would sit with the candidates and then they would tell them, you are going to be in this area on such and such a day. If you move from here, you'll be in the next place. Now, that committee comprise actually the police and the NGOs. And I don't know what could have transpired, but I would believe that Mr. Nkombo and all the other candidates in the areas of their campaigns should follow the timetable so that they don't confuse the police or the Electoral Commission of Zambia. It's for their own good in terms of if you're not given the space that you want at a particular time, you can even go and complain to the Electoral Commission of Zambia that is in the district in which you are campaigning. But for a person to choose, and then you say, this was a gentleman's agreement, it's not so good. So let's follow the timetable of provided by the Electoral Commission of Zambia and also by the police, agreed with the candidates.
Right.
That's the only comment I can make on that one.
You've been watching Conversations at 1. We are back again tomorrow, same time. Make a date with us. My name is Seidlitz Nkhonjera. On behalf of Mr. George Chomba and the entire Crown Television team, pleasant viewing.